We're back here on our program, The Platform, and today we are speaking with Erica Simnet, LadyE, and Bianca Nygaard is here. And as you hear, they are also promoting Nygaard Slims, and it's going extremely well.
You know what I really appreciate is people helping people. So I mean, why not, right? Like, so I'm LadyE's #1 fan. I'll promote her wherever I can, and she does the same thing to me. And I think that that's something that we need to do more of for Bahamians, to really promote each other. You know, I see but I see Jamaicans like 100% out there supporting each other, no matter what, in the colors, you know, whatever it is, we see it continuously. And I think that I don't know if we do enough of that here. When somebody's doing good, to really clap for them, promote them, talk about them, and bring them up instead of hide it. It shouldn't be the best kept secret.
Yes, and you do have a lot of I see Bahamian flags on in different positions in the video. Someone is wearing a flag on the shoulder or something.
Listen, when we got our costumes in, we went to Home Fabrics, and I said, listen, I want people, when they see this video, to know where we're from. They don't have to ask where we're from. You know, the song is sung in Bahamian dialect. The music is rake and scrape. The actors are Bahamian. The everything in there is 100% Bahamian. You know, even the gentleman that shot the music video, he's Bahamian, Cubes Pro. And I wanted it to represent the country. So I'm very proud of that.
Yes.
So we have a whole lot of Bahamian talent here.
We do.
Whether they are musicians,
actors,
vocalists, tremendous amount of
painters, yes.
Yes, and they ought to be exposed.
Yes.
A whole lot of them have been hiding their talents, eh?
Yes, yes. I can tell you that I know of a lot of them, but I think the biggest thing is that you have to have that drive. A lot of persons, they're contented with their talents too much, and they hide it, like the Bible would say, you hide it under a bushel. You know, and like the song says, you don't do that. You know, you have to be able to take your purpose, like Dr. Miles Monroe would have said. You have to be able to take your purpose and walk in your purpose and have God in your heart and keep on pushing and, actually fulfill what it is in your life that you're supposed to do. So yes, we have a lot of talented people, but we need to actually have a little bit more fire when it comes to the Bahamian thing. We can't lose ourselves, like Bianca would have said. When you go to China and the Chinese or the Jamaicans and their culture, they come into us and they're proud. They're proud people. We should be proud. We should be proud of where we come from. You know, our conch salad is different than anybody makes conch. Our macaroni and cheese is different than the mac and cheese that's from the United States. The Bahamian thing is an identity for us that we just need to take in and just breathe in and just be happy with, like Bianca said, happy and encourage one another and love one another, and wherever people see us in the world, to be able to hold hands and say, we are Bahamian, we are here, this is us.
What did it take for you to expose your talent the way you have?
I think the fire lit in me when Cleophas took me in the choir, and
That's many moons ago.
Yes, you talking about my age. But yeah, when he was able to take me at a young age, and he was able to say, nobody owes you anything. Why are you doing this? Are you doing this for you? Are you doing this for your family? Because if that's the case, then leave. Are you doing this for country? What is your purpose here? And he broke me down, and he was able to say, listen, I see something in you. This is what you are here for. And he shook me up, and I was able to travel to China. I was able to travel to Africa, all over the world, representing the country. And I was able to see with new eyes, because I don't think our people have the exposure that we really need to see ourselves. So I was able to get that through him. And like I said to you, I'm very, very grateful.
You're very confident too in exposing what you do and in speaking about what you do. The confidence level came from your participation in the youth choir as well?
It did, and it came over the years. My confidence as a woman, a Bahamian woman, is the fact that I know that I'm only here for a season. I'm only here for a time. So whoever's watching the show will feel inspired. Maybe a little girl who's 8 or 6 or 5, and she'll feel as though she'll find her purpose. And that's my purpose, to make sure that that little girl knows that, hey, I can do this. It doesn't have to be music. It could be hair. It could be creating a clothing line. It could be whatever. But we have a job here while we're here on this earth to make sure that the other generation, while they're watching us, knows that they can accomplish what they want to accomplish.
I heard it said recently by someone that we have to learn again on what it means to be Bahamian. I think it was Sir Charles Scott who made the comment at the passing of the late Ronnie Butler. And that struck me as odd, that a whole lot of people do not know what it means to be Bahamian. Because he says that we have to learn how to be Bahamian again.
It sounds confusing, but I can understand what he meant by that. Because you have a lot of the kids, when you go to the kids, because I mentor, I'm a part of the music program that a lot of us artists are now involved in. And you go to the kids and you ask them, hey, so sing a Ronnie Butler song. When your mother goes in the kitchen, how does she make peas and rice? How do you beat conch? How you know, and the kids don't know. So we lose our identity, and who is to blame? You know what I mean? So it is our responsibility as the older ones. We have to be able to pass on the information. That's why my mom always tells me, have respect for your elders, because the elders have the responsibility to pass on the heritage. You know, so for me, I could understand why he would say that. You know, persons like Ronnie, like I said, they would have passed through and transitioned through and passed on and not have been recognized properly. And you don't do that. You have heroes that come through and you have to recognize them so the other generation can say, oh, that monument there, that's Ronnie Butler. Who was he? Oh, he was the Bahamian entertainer of all of them. He was able to contribute to Bahamian culture. You know, so I think that's where we're owed. We need to be able to do that. You
know, but there are some people who just do things for the sake of doing it, and they do not make whatever they do compelling. And it seems to me that Ronnie Butler made a whole lot of sounds that were compelling. Burma Road, for instance, you know, last for millennia.
Echoes of my mind,
yes. You know, Bahamians 50 years down the road probably will be singing Burma Road.
Right. But if you ask the 15-year-old, the 14-year-old to sing it, they don't know it. So you have to be able to take those songs and bring them forward again. You know, you have what the Americans do. They take James Brown, like for instance. They'll take a James Brown song and then they'll put a little spin on it, they'll put a little dub on it, and then it becomes relevant again, and now you have a younger generation knowing what James Brown's song, his song was, you know? Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, you know, and you be able, and that's the way that you educate the young people without forcing it, without force feeding it to them. So we have to be smart.
Yes, and you also get the older generation learning the young music. True. You know, the combination.
True.
Isn't it true that that we seem to have an appreciation for things that are foreign? LadyE. I was driving along one day with someone in my car, and they were singing to some American songs that were on radio. And as you said, they would have difficulty singing the Burma Road in its entirety. There lies the problem.
But it's in the marketing. It's in the market that's there. The popular radio stations, you have to look at what it is that they play, you know, and then you know, it's a two-sided thing, because me as an artist, I have to produce music that is worthy of being on the radio. Once I do that, I've fulfilled my side. On the other side of the coin, the radio stations here need to do what happens in Trinidad. In carnival season, Trinidadians only play soca. Soca takes up 80% of the airwaves. So, you know, they have that regulation that helps their artists become famous, because now you have heavy circulation of just that music rather than the rap, the reggae, the other secular stuff. you just have soca in that country that takes up 80% of the airways. Over here, it's more or less, sometimes it's a 60, depending on the radio stations, because you do have radio stations like Bahamian or Nothing. You do have radio stations like Island 102.9. You know, even the Hot 91, you know, they have their seasons where they big up Bahamian music. That's the Bahamian, you know, the young terminology.
Yes, yes.
But you have other stations that need to follow suit. So right now, there's some changes that needs to happen. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just stating my opinion and saying to you and to everybody out there that we have an obligation. It's our responsibility to make sure that we recognize, we see these things and correct them as best as we can.
Yes, that has been the age-old complaint that radio stations not playing enough Bahamian music, and it is true.
But we have to make sure that the music, that the producer or whoever's in charge, hey, does your music sound good?
Right.
You know, it has to be marketable. Once it's marketable,
Back to the point that I made, it has to be compelling.
Yes.
And that your lyrics are suitable, and some of them are quite offensive to the general radio audience, and so it has to be something that is something that can be enjoyed by all, you know.
Yes.
But back to your video. When are you going to do more?
I plan on doing more. Definitely, I am doing work with DJ Buddha, is a producer in Miami.
DJ Buddha.
DJ Buddha.
Okay.
And he has ties in Miami with the reggaeton community. So what I would like to do is take our Junkanoo beat, and I would like to kind of fuse it with this, they have a tropical house beat, but I would like it to be more dominating towards Junkanoo so I can introduce the Latin community, because I am signed with Sony Latin America. I want to introduce the Latin community to our Junkanoo music with a flair. So that's my next project. So right now I'm funding everything myself, and with God's grace, I will definitely be working very closely with other persons like Miss Nygaard, who are, you know, Bahamian minded and sponsors and able to assist in any way, shape, or form. And that's going to be me for 2018.
What is the long-term goal, though? I mean, these are short-term things that you're doing. Your long-term goal, LadyE, what is your long-term goal?
My long-term goal, what I see myself, is an ambassador for the country. Musically, I would love to be, at the end of the day, I want to be an ambassador for the country. I want to be able to mentor and take young kids with me. I want to bring them up in the business, and I want to show them the ropes that I didn't have anybody holding my hand through. So I want to be able to take them, represent the country, represent the Bahamas, market the Bahamas, let persons know, other than sun, sand, and sea, that we have an industry here, you know, to equip myself and make sure that young people the young people coming up in the business, that they don't lose their identity, that they take this Bahamian thing with them. So long term, that is what I believe my purpose is. I don't know how long I'm here for, but that is where I feel as though He wants me to go.
That is idealistic and commendable. There is a young Barbadian talent. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, who has gotten an Emmy.
Rihanna. Yes, Rihanna.
Yes, but her vision was to be famous. It wasn't about Barbados.
Right.
It was about her.
Right.
Isn't your vision about you becoming
No.
a worldwide phenomenon in terms of your music?
No, I write my music, and I'll tell you the truth. I've been nominated for awards, and a part of the award criteria is that you submit a resume of your work, and I've never done that. I've been nominated for awards, and right now I'm nominated for Female Artist of the Year. My song Down Home is nominated for Song of the Year for the Elevation Awards, and you know, as much as I love writing my music or whatever, I want to be recognized for just that. For when you listen to my music on the radio, that it's a Bahamian song that gets you up, that makes you proud. The Emmy Awards, the awards that are coming for me will come regardless, but I'm not concentrating on that. I'm concentrating on what I know what my purpose is. My purpose is to create this music, to make the Bahamas recognized all over the world. When I go to perform, I don't feel as though I'm performing to strangers. You know, I'm performing to my neighbor, my sister, my mom. You know what I mean? So for me, that brings me joy. In order to see Bianca when she was doing her two-step on, you know, killing the roach. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they would look at Miss Nygaard and say, well, why? You know, I didn't know she had that in her. You know?
Yes, the music gets you going.
Right. You know, so it's all about what I know is inside of me. Miss Rihanna, she would have been able to achieve a lot, but how many persons can really look back and say, hey, okay, well, she did so much for Barbados. So, you know what I mean? I'm not knocking nobody, but I'm doing what I need to do and she's doing what she needs to do.
Have you participated in the carnival competitions?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I was able to come second and third and fourth. I've never won carnival, but you know, everything has a reason and a season.
Second, third, fourth?
Second, and the first inaugural year, my song came second. It was Islands in the Sun. And the second year, my song Feel That Rhythm came third, and my song Live for the Road came fourth. And the last year of Carnival, I didn't participate. I had the honor of being a part of Aristor and the Spank Band's orchestra, and I was able to participate as my own artist. Okay. So, you know, Carnival was a great vehicle, you know, despite the naysayers who were thinking that we were going to lose our identity. You had persons like me who were involved in it, who kept it Bahamian, who kept it 100.
And it's good that it was open to a whole lot of people to compete, and I believe there were a couple hundred people who were in the competition.
You have a lot of Bahamian writers out there, a lot of producers out there. So yeah, you had about maybe 150 entries.
Yes.
Yes.
And they were quite enthusiastic about it, weren't they?
Yes, yes. But I think the biggest thing about Carnival was that when or whoever came out with the music, I think we needed to listen to the heart of the people, listen to what it is that we were coming out with, and making sure that we weren't trying to be the Destra Garcias, we weren't trying to be the Patrice Roberts and the Marshall Montanas, you know what I mean? Because when we look at the crowd reaction to persons like D-Mac, or even when Ronnie Butler used to come out, you know, the crowd the crowd still reacted. You know, to not lose our identity is very important.
We take this final break here on our program, The Platform, as we continue our conversation with Erica Simonet, LadyE. And as I said, we're going to replay the video near the end of our program. We'll come right back.